Hi guys, welcome to the Sunday Sunshine Show. I hope it's sunny where you are. It's sunny right now, however, we are due some heavy downpours I think today. In fact, all weekend we've got a hurricane coming in that's going to hit supposedly San Diego and LA, and I think we've got kind of like the surrounding clouds and rain that's going to hit Las Vegas. So it's going to cool down, which is going to be nice. Anyway, moving on. Today's video is our favourite vacation spot, and I'm going back to 2011 when I went to Oahu, Hawaii. Right, so let's start at the beginning. If you are flying out of Las Vegas, it is just under a 6-hour flight, and you will fly into one of the more difficult places apparently to land. I'm not sure why it's difficult, but supposedly it is one of the more difficult landings. Now, when you're flying in or out of Oahu, I definitely recommend a window seat. As long as you're not on the sea side of the plane, try and get on the land side of the plane, because it's the most impressive scenery I've ever seen taken off or landing in any place that I've ever been to. It's gorgeous. You fly right over Pearl Harbor. You see Waikiki Beach laid out right in front of you, and then at the corner you see Diamond Head, and as you take off or land, you can look right down above the crater of the volcano. It is so pretty. Now, we flew Hawaiian Airlines, which I highly recommend. It is a straight through flight from Las Vegas to Oahu, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Oahu. Now, if you're coming from England and you want to do Vegas and Hawaii, I recommend that you fly to Las Vegas first, spend about 4 days, get over your jet lag in Las Vegas, because I think it's easier to get over your jet lag here because it's a 24-hour city. So if you wake up odd hours of the night or day, there's something open that you can go and wander around and get tired and go back to sleep. Whereas if you're in a place that's closed down at 10 o'clock and you're wide awake at 2 a.m. and you're just sitting there at the end of the bed going, can't sleep. At least in Vegas, you can go down to a casino and do something. So I recommend spending about 5 days in Las Vegas, and catching your flight, spending 5 days in Hawaii, and then the last 5 days, 4 days back in Las Vegas. Now, we spent 5 days in Oahu, and we stayed on the east side of the island, and to get to the east side is a pretty impressive tunnel. So first of all, you land on the west side. There's rental cars right next to the airport, and you drive through the mountains through this tunnel. But let me tell you, the scenery on the west side is completely different from the east side. You drive through this tunnel and it opens up and you feel like you're on the set of Jurassic Park, which they did film parts of Jurassic Park in Oahu. I would say Austria and Hawaii probably has the prettiest scenery I've ever seen. The mountains are incredible. And if it's raining on the east coast, you can drive through the tunnel and you're pretty much guaranteed it won't be raining on the west coast, or vice versa. Now, one of the places I highly recommend going to is the Polynesian Cultural Centre, and it's on the kind of like the northeast corner of the island. You can spend an absolute entire day there. There are many places to go eat, and there are lots of different things going on in different areas of the park. So when we went there, they showed us how to climb a tree barefooted with your bare hands all the way to the top of the palm tree, how to crack open a coconut. I mean, it was really impressive. They also had little stations where they showed you to cook native food, which my husband copied when we got back home, except for they use a very specific leaf, and they wrap it up in pork, and I think they put it in coals. I can't quite remember, but you can't bring that leaf back to the main island. So he used some other kind of leaf, I can't remember, but they taught us how to play a ukulele, which I thought was native to Hawaii, but apparently the Portuguese brought it over to Hawaii, and the proper pronunciation of a ukulele is actually ukulele, which I thought was interesting because I've always pronounced it ukulele. Anyway, they have a show partway through the day where you can sit on the riverbank and they bring these boats across. I'll put some pictures up, and they're wearing the native clothes of each Polynesian island. It's so cool. They play music, and at the end of the day you can pay to go to a evening of dance and food. There's like a buffet. It's definitely worth going to. Now if you want to go to Waikiki Beach, that's all well and good, but it does get absolutely packed, chock-a-block. It is the main beach. But if you want a quieter beach, you've only got to rent a car and drive around. There are hundreds of beaches all over the island that are completely empty. Now you can drive around the island in a day. It's very easy to do. Now if you go to the North Shore in the winter months, that's where they're going to have the big waves and the surfers are going to be out, so you can sit there and watch them. Now we were on the east side of the island, and the particular beach that we were at was Bellows. And they have jellyfish only, I think it was 2 months of the year, and it just happened to be when we were there. So I'm going to show you a little picture of the jellyfish. It looks like a little blue piece of plastic, and if the lifeguards walked up and down and saw one, they would just dig a little hole, bury it and cover it back up. Yeah, so watch out for those if you see them, because they're probably about that big, and you don't want to get stung by one of those. Oh, and I learned something new. Most shark attacks happen within the first 30 feet from the beach, 30 feet out. It happens mainly after a rainstorm. So if it rains, I'd stay out of the water for a bit. I actually only paddled in the water once. I wasn't interested in getting in the sea at all. Now, if you do rent a car in Hawaii, I didn't know this, but when we were there, we did notice that Hawaiians are really, really respectful when it comes to driving. They will stop, they will let you out, they will raise their hands, they will wave, they will smile. They are so respectful when it comes to driving. And I didn't know this at the time, which thankfully we didn't do this particular thing, but apparently you shouldn't use your horn in Hawaii because it's quite disrespectful. Now Honolulu is the capital of Oahu, and they have the only royal palace in the whole United States. And talking about states, Hawaii became the 50th state of America in 1959, which surprised me. I thought it was a lot earlier than that. Be aware, this video is in collaboration with Tina from Tina's Talk Time, Maria from Maria Crocker, and Karen from Geordie Grandma. Aloha! Now we were just going to Hawaii for a vacation, but my husband suggested whilst we were there we should renew our wedding vows. So we went to Lahana Beach, I can't remember, I'll look it up, I'll put it up here, to renew our wedding vows. And how we arranged that was we just simply called a local church, spoke to the minister, got to know him, and he agreed to meet us at the beach and perform the service. It was just me, myself, my brother and my sister-in-law there, and it was really, really nice. It was just something very different, and if you do that, expect to become a tourist attraction the whole time you're on the beach if you're in a wedding dress. There was a lot of Japanese tourists there, and they all wanted to take pictures of us, which was quite funny. Now, I can't offer any advice about flying with a wedding dress because all I did was folded it up, balled it up, and stuck it in my suitcase. But I did notice on our flight there were 2 other ladies that had wedding dresses, and the air crew took them from them and put them in the back somewhere. So I think you'd probably have to reach out to your airline that you're flying with just to see how they want you to do that. Now they do have a really good market. It's actually where the football stadium is. What they do is they put the market stalls all the way around the outside in the parking lot surrounding the football arena. I mean, it's absolutely ginormous and definitely worth walking around. And if my memory serves me well, it's on a Wednesday and a Saturday. So definitely look that one up. Now it does rain a lot in Hawaii, but it tends to be more showers, then the sun comes back, and then a shower again, then the sun comes out. And we did see a lot of people renting Jeeps, and they didn't have the roof on. They were quite happy driving them around in the showers. And I wish we could have done that, but we actually ended up renting a minivan because there was 4 of us and lots of luggage. So yeah, next time if we ever go back, see if we can rent a Jeep. It looked like a lot of fun. Now, one of the places we went to visit was the Dole Pineapple Center. I definitely recommend going there. It's a lot of fun. You get to eat proper Dole ice cream or ices, I'm not sure what it was, but you can go on a little train ride there. I'll take you around the pineapple plantation. They have beautiful gardens. They have a huge pond full of koi fish. You can buy cases of pineapple. You can arrange to send them back to America. Now, I just remembered something. When I first moved to America, I had a friend go to Hawaii for a vacation, and instead of writing on a postcard and sending it to us at work, you used to be able to buy a coconut and write the address and put the stamps on a coconut husk and write a message on the back and put that in the mail and send that. But now they've stopped that quite a few years ago. So yeah, I just remembered that. Yeah. Now, if you do go to Pearl Harbor, expect to spend a whole afternoon or a whole morning there. There's lots to see. You can ride on a boat out to the USS Arizona to see that memorial. You can go on a boat, and there's a whole museum to walk around to, so it's definitely worth going to. Now, if you want to swim with dolphins, there is a place called Sea Life Park, and it's on the southeast corner of the island. Now, this is more of a, I guess, a reserve. It's where injured animals go to stay, and they look after them, and they get you to interact with the animals to keep them active. These animals cannot be put back into the wild, because if they were, it was explained to us, they would be attacked. So I was okay with that situation versus going to a huge big water park where they have whales swimming around in a tiny little cubicle. So I felt comfortable with that. So we did that experience. We did swim with the dolphins, and I think one was partially blind and the other one I can't remember, but they were pretty old, but they seemed very happy and really well looked after. And they teach you about the dolphins, and it's like a whole experience. It's not a terribly big place, so I would recommend that one too. Now, when we was flying to Hawaii, I learnt on one of the documentaries that I watched was that Hawaii is the most isolated land in the whole of the world, which someone that doesn't like flying and someone that doesn't like flying over the sea, I wish I hadn't learnt that until I'd got back to America. But all in all, would I suggest going to Hawaii? Yes. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've got your vacation caps on and your vacation ideas. I'm off to watch the other ladies to see where I might go next year. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for my Monday motivation video. Bye!